Pack Attack is back on MLB The Show 24. It's finally here, you guys. It's taken me a little bit longer than I would have wanted to get started on Pack Attack this year, but it's finally here. And we're gonna make up for lost time a little bit right away. I'm gonna have a new episode of Pack Attack coming out every day through Friday this week, and that'll coincide with the end of this first ranked season. But today's episode is gonna be all about just what exactly Pack Attack is. So for those of you who don't know, Pack Attack is a series in Diamond Dynasty that I've been doing every year for the last couple of years. And with just how many episodes of this I've made, and all the different improvements I've made to how things work, we need a dedicated video explaining all the rules and all the ways that Pack Attack works this year. So at its core, Pack Attack pretty much just goes through a cycle, starting with adding players to the team, which we'll be doing at the end of today's episode by opening a 10-pack bundle to determine our starting team for our first game. And then we take that team into a game of ranked. We then earn stubs within that game of ranked based on how we perform statistically. And then with those stubs, we open packs, add those new players to the team, and start it all over again. So let's first talk about how we earn the stubs. I have attached a stub value to various different statistical categories, and as we achieve those statistics, we earn stubs. So starting with hitting, every run we score is going to be worth 500 stubs. Total bases, walks, hit by pitches, those are all 200. Every home run we hit will add a bonus of 200 stubs, basically between total bases and that bonus, making a home run worth 1,000. Stealing a base is worth 200. Every 5 hits we collect in a game is an extra 500 stubs. If we hit for a cycle, which is something I have still never done in like over 250 episodes of Pack Attack, but if we do that, it's worth 5,000. A multi-home run game for an individual player is worth 2,000 stubs. Back-to-back home runs is worth 1,000. And then 10 runs in a game is worth 3,000 stubs. And then the only negative when it comes to hitting is every time we strike out at the plate, that takes away 100 stubs. Now over to how we can make some stubs on the mound. Every out recorded is going to be worth 200 stubs, but then every hit allowed, every walk allowed, and every hit batter takes away 200 stubs. And then every run allowed takes away 500. But every punch out is going to add back 200 stubs. And if we can pick a runner off or catch them stealing, that also gives us 200 stubs. If we pick up a save, that's worth 1,000. If our starter gets a quality start, that's worth 1,000. A shutout gives us 1,500. A complete game is also worth 1,500 stubs. And then if we throw a no-hitter, that's worth 5,000, and a perfect game is worth 10,000 stubs. Now, throughout this video and the explanation of what's going on, I do have some rules of clarification to some different aspects of Pack Attack that I'll be butting in to discuss. So right now is going to be the first of those regarding the no-hitters and perfect games. And this rule states that if the opponent quits in the middle of a no-hitter or perfect game, we had to have pitched 7 full innings on the mound in order for it to count for stubs. I feel like anything earlier than 7 innings and it doesn't really feel like a deserved no-hitter or perfect game, but sometimes you can't always expect your opponent to hang around for a full 9 innings if you're shutting them down like that. So now back to some more ways we can earn some stubs. There's a bonus category. So if we win the game, that gives us 1,500 stubs. If we win by a quit or a mercy rule, that's another 1,500 stubs. And then this is a good time to butt in and talk about our second rule of clarification here. And this one's regarding early quits. So if our opponent quits before the 5th inning, we hop into another game, and if they quit even earlier and then our second game is an early quit and we haven't gotten up to 5 total innings yet, we'll play as many games as it takes in order to have played at least 5 innings in the episode. And then all those stubs we earn from all the games all count. And then back to our bonus stubs. Every 5 wins we get, so throughout the series, every 5th win will add us another 1,500 stubs for that game. And then here's the big one. Every single like that you guys leave on the previous episode at the time that I record the next episode will count for 100 stubs. So if you want to add some stubs right now towards our next episode, all you got to do right now is hit that like button. And then finally, our post-game rating is going to be worth that amount in stubs. So if we end up after a game at a 531 rating, that's 531 stubs. So after each game, we tally up how many stubs we make from each of those 3 categories. But we're not done yet, because after that, we throw it into the multiplier. So basically, we take all the stubs we just earned and then we multiply it by whatever the multiplier is for that episode. And the multiplier is determined by 2 things: our parallels and our winning or losing streaks. So for every parallel 1 card we have on our roster at the end of a game, it's going to add 0.005 or 0.5% to our multiplier. Parallel 2s are worth 0.015 or 1.5%. 3s are worth 0.03 or 3%. 4s are worth 0.05 or 5%. And then every parallel 5 on the roster itself is going to be worth a 0.1 multiplier or 10% extra stubs tacked onto our stub count at the end of the episode. And then when it comes to our streaks, every win in a winning streak adds on another 0.005 or 0.5% to that multiplier. Every loss in a losing streak takes away that same amount. So now we've counted up all of our stubs after we've played the game. What do we do with it then? So at this point, we just head into the shop and we can buy whatever we can based on the amount of stubs that we earned in that game to then open up and hopefully add some new players to the team. And this would be a good time to discuss 2 more rules of clarification. The first one being the final post-game stub count will be either rounded up or rounded down to the nearest pack. And then any leftover stubs after rounding will be sent to the bank, and we'll get into what that is in a minute. And then any extra stubs we need to cover the rounding will be taken from the bank. Now, the next rule to talk about, it doesn't quite apply to what's in the shop right now, but we've seen some free packs in the shop so far this year. So this rule concerns those free packs. So any free packs or packs that contain primarily unsellable cards cannot be directly opened to upgrade the team. But now for the biggest change coming to Pack Attack this year, for the first time at the start of Pack Attack, we are breaking out the pack wheel. The last couple of years, we haven't broken out the pack wheel until content is very much slowed down at the end of the game cycle. But this year, it's coming out and it's here to stay for the entirety of Pack Attack this year. So let me explain how this is going to work. If we have enough stubs or we decide I just don't want to open any of the packs that are in the shop right now, we're going to spin the pack wheel and see what we can land on. So now, what's actually going to be on the pack wheel? Well, probably the most exciting thing is going to be packs like this, the Team Affinity Division packs. So these are packs that you can't buy in the store. You have to earn them. And usually in Pack Attack, these would be packs that we just can't open to upgrade the team ever. But this year, that's different. We're throwing all of these divisionals Team Affinity packs onto the wheel. But that's not all. Also, what will be on the wheel is any special packs that are in the shop at any given time. So right now, we have the Drop 1 and 2 of the Season Awards. We have the Pipeline pack. We always have Headliners. So whatever's in the shop, that'll be on the wheel for that episode. But there's also a few more things that are going to show up on the pack wheel, and that is those free packs we talked about earlier. So right now, all I have claimed on this account is the April Fool's pack and the Season 1 Cornerstone pack. So we're not just going to be disregarding any packs that are free or have unsellable items, but we're going to throw those packs on the wheel to potentially land on at some point. And then finally, as we progress through the season, we'll be unlocking more and more packs, so eventually we'll have like the Season 1 XP Boss Pack on the wheel. We might even work up to the point where we can add the Season 1 Collection Choice Pack. So this will just be a fun way to introduce a bit more variety to the cards that we can add to the team, but still keep it in a way that feels random. It feels like it takes an element of luck, which is what packs are kind of all about. So it's going to cost stubs to spin the pack wheel, and right now I have it costing 30,000 stubs, and we'll see if that needs to be adjusted. I could see bringing it down to 25k. We just got to figure out how the game works, how it feels this year. So that's subject to change. And actually, now is a good time to mention that everything we talk about is subject to change. I'm constantly thinking of ways to improve how the series works. We always make changes in the past. We're probably going to continue to make changes in the future. But anyways, we've earned our stubs. We've opened our packs. We've added whatever cards are an upgrade to the team. But what do we do with the rest of the cards we pulled? Do we waste them? No, we don't. Because this is where the stub bank comes into play. And if you've been around, the stub bank works the same way it always has. Basically, all I do is any cards that don't make the team, I sell them on the market, and then whatever stubs we make from those cards I sell get added to the stub bank, and then we can save up the stubs in the bank to however many we want, and then once we have enough, we can use those stubs to buy a pack from the shop, or maybe just spin the pack wheel. Now, that's not going to be the only way that we can add stubs to the bank, because banks have an interest rate, right? So why should the stub bank be any different? So with every win we accumulate throughout the series, it's going to add a 0.1% interest rate to our stub bank. Now, that might not sound like a lot, but it's going to accumulate over time. So let's say we're at a point, we have 10 wins on the board, so that's a 1% stub bank interest rate. If we have 50,000 stubs in the bank, that'll give us an extra 500 stubs to add to the bank for literally doing nothing. That's how interest rate works. Now, one thing I haven't fully committed to yet is kind of just an idea that I want to run past you guys. Again, things are always going to be changing. Ideas are going to be happening. But with the way Diamond Dynasty works this year, in 60 days when season 1's over, you know, it might be a little tough to build up our team back to a point of being competitive right away. So I'm thinking what we can do about that is every time we add stubs to the bank, so every episode we take a percentage of what we earn for the bank and kind of shove it to the side and save it up for season 2, and then maybe when season 2 starts we can open that up, be like, oh, we have a couple thousand stubs that we've been saving up throughout these last couple of months, and then we don't have to start the new season out helpless. And now is probably also a good time to get into another rule to clarify things, and that's just that any cards we pull from packs bought from the bank, we can't then sell all the cards we don't add to add more stubs to the bank. We can't just keep refueling the bank with bank stubs, if that makes any sense. Now, one more thing we have to talk about is how the ranked program and the ranked rewards are going to work for us. Because in the past, I haven't always had us be able to like earn stubs or earn players from the ranked program, but I kind of changed that last year, and I think I'm going to run with that to start this season too. So on this account, this is a dedicated Pack Attack account, so the only ranked games I play will be Pack Attack games. So everything we earn from the program is earned from the Pack Attack team. So it only feels right to actually be able to use the rewards. So any packs, any stubs, anything we pull can either be added to the team or sold. Anything we normally do with packs we buy at the end of the game. All right, I think that should have covered everything, and I couldn't get it all at once, so I guess I've got a bit of a costume change going on, don't I? But that means that it's time to set our first Pack Attack team that's going to be taking the field in game 1. We've got a 10-pack bundle ready here to open, 10 show packs, 1 silver pack on top of that. The rest of these we save for some pack wheel spins later on. So let's get into it. Let's see who's going to get added to this team right away. We've got nothing but bronzes and commons. That's what I fear we're going to see at the start here. I also feel it probably is worth pointing out that these packs, since it's just the initial pack to set the team, we're not selling these cards to add to the bank. This is just basically a 10-pack and play here, and we get our first silver, a solid enough arm to start in the bullpen, I guess. All right, pack 3 here. We're still looking for a big bat or a big anything, really. At least Eli White's got some speed. Is he still? Yeah, he's still a 99 speed guy. All right, pack number 4 already, and we are still just getting bronzes. Joey Gallo, though, I'll take that bat right away. What's he looking like these days? Oh, yeah, 103 power on veteran difficulty to start. Dude's going to be a stud. All right, we're getting to the halfway point here. 5th pack out of 10. We got another silver. We got our first silver bat. All right, 6th pack. What are we looking like? We got nothing but a couple more bronzes. Down to 4 packs remaining here, and we get more bronzes. Uh-oh. I don't know, man. This first game isn't looking so great with what we've pulled so far. Oh, only 3 more bronzes. We're going to be having to work our way up from the absolute mud right now if we don't get anything We got a new silver. It's a first baseman. It's Jose Abreu. I just feel like we need a starting pitcher. We don't have a starting pitcher over a 70 overall right now, and game 1 is going to be rough. If we don't get one, we got one more chance at a silver. It's not a starting pitcher, but Geraldo Perdomo is not bad at short. All right, and then our final pack, our last chance at a starter for game 1. The silver topper is going to be Nick Castellanos. Check on those that you care about, I guess. So here is going to be your game 1 pack attack squad. It's not great, but it's also not horrible. We've got 4 silvers in the starting lineup, a couple guys with 99 speed. The pitching, though, is what's going to be rough. 70 overall is our best starter. Bullpen's looking pretty rough. But hey, that's the fun of pack attack. The fun is in building the team from the ground up, and that's what we get to do. So make sure you come back tomorrow for episode 1 of Pack Attack. And if any of our rules or how Pack Attack works seems a little confusing, don't worry, it'll get a lot less complicated as we start getting through it. And I'm just ready to have another fun year on Pack Attack here in MLB 24, and I hope you guys are too. So again, don't forget to like this video to add some stubs towards episode 1. But for now, that's gonna do it, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by today, and I will see you next time.